Welcome back to Myth of the Week. My name is Alyssa, and this week we will be talking about one of the most iconic sections of Greek mythology, the Trojan War. Now, you've probably heard about Helen, the face that launched 1,000 ships, or maybe you've seen Achilles battling it out in movies, but there's so much more to this myth than just the wooden horse. Today, we will be doing a refresher of what started the war and some key players you may not know, plus some books and movies if you guys want to explore it yourselves. So, this whole war starts with a divine drama. Eris, the goddess of discord, wasn't invited to a wedding. She throws a golden apple out inscribed to the fairest. Now, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite all lay claim to this golden apple, and now it's a beauty contest. They end up choosing Paris, a Trojan prince, to decide who deserves to get the apple and who gets named the fairest. Aphrodite historically does not like when people are said to be prettier than her because she is the goddess of love and beauty. So being told that there's someone more beautiful than you kind of goes against your whole being, at least in her eyes. Aphrodite ends up bribing Paris with the love of Helen, queen of Sparta, and she is said to be the most beautiful woman in the world. Paris ends up accepting this offer, and that choice leads to the war. Essentially sparks the whole thing. Now, the problem is, Helen is already married to Menelaus, king of Sparta. Paris takes her away, and in response, Menelaus and his brother Agamemnon rally the Greek armies to sail across the sea and bring her back. What follows is a 10-year siege of the city of Troy. The war itself is full of legendary moments: Achilles refusing to fight, Hector defending his home, Patroclus' tragic death, and the eventual use of the Trojan horse to sneak Greek soldiers into the city. But beyond the battles, the story is really about pride, power, loss, and how far people are willing to go for love, loyalty, and revenge. So now, with that recap out of the way, let's get into some book and movie recommendations for you guys to explore more about the Trojan War. Okay, getting into the media recommendations for you guys, starting off with the original epic. We have the Iliad by Homer. This is going to be focusing on Achilles and the final year in the war. Number 2 on the list is going to be The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have talked about it before. I will talk about it again. I'm actually rereading it, but this is going to be a lyrical retelling centered on the romance and tragedy of Achilles and Patroclus. And as I'm rereading it, because I haven't read it since 2022, but I'm slowly remembering the emotional turmoil that this book put me through. So I highly recommend it. Number 3 on the list is going to be Troy, the Greek Myths Reimagined by Stephen Fry. This is going to be a witty and accessible retelling of the whole war. Number 4 is going to be 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. The women of the war finally take center stage in this retelling. Number 5 is going to be part 1 of a trilogy by Pat Barker. The first book is Silence of the Girls. This is focusing at Briseis and the silenced women. The second one is The Women of Troy, which is a sequel focusing on the aftermath and the trauma of it all. Number 3 is The Voyage Home, continuing the story through Cassandra's eyes. Number 8 is Daughters of Bronze by A.D. Rhine. This is a multi-perspective retelling from The Women of Troy. There's a lot of female retelling, guys, in case you couldn't tell. Number 9 is Helen of Sparta. This is a reimagining of Helen's early years and a defiance of fate. Number 10 is Elektra by Jennifer State. This is focused on Clytemnestra pronunciation. Clytemnestra, focusing on Clytemnestra, Elektra, and Cassandra. Number 11 is Warrior Rising by PC Cass. This is a modern fantasy twist with time travel and goddesses. Number 12, listen, Katie Roberts has a book for every single Greek mythology like figure. For the Trojan War. She has Wicked Beauty, and this is going to be a spicy modern poly retelling of Helen, Achilles, and Patroclus. Number 13 is Daughters of Sparta by Claire Heywood. This is told from Helen and Clytemnestra's perspectives. Number 14, actually 14 through 17, is going to be the 4-part series by Lindsay Clark. Number 1 is going to be A Prince of Troy, which is Paris' side of the myth. Number 2 is The War at Troy, which is a dramatic and humanized retelling. Number 3, The Spoils of Troy, which is the war's bitter end and personal cost. Number 17 doesn't really count in this case because it's more focused on the Odyssey and not so much the Trojan War. But number 4 in the final book in that quartet is going to be The Return from Troy, and that's Odysseus's psychological journey home, which took a while. Number 18 is going to be The Trojan Woman. This is a tragic play focused on the women who were left behind during the war. But that wraps up all the books that I have to recommend. I have 3 movies for you guys. Don't judge me on the last one, okay? Number 1 on the list is going to be Troy, which came out in 2004. This is a dramatic, action-packed retelling starring Brad Pitt as Achilles. But, just know the movie is 2 hours and 43 minutes long. Number 2 is going to be Helen of Troy, that came out in 1956. This is a romantic classic that centers on Helen and Paris' relationship. Number 3, hear me out, guys. Stay with me. There is technically a Trojan horse sequence. You technically see Agamemnon and Odysseus. And it's chaotic, but like weirdly educational. My number 3 is Mr. Peabody and Sherman. I love that movie. Anyways, all that aside, go watch Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Hunker down to watch Troy, and then Helen of Troy I think is between an hour 30, 2 hours. Oh boy, that 2 hours and 43 minutes almost took me out. That is how long it takes for me to get on Hagrid's motorbike adventure at Universal Studios Orlando. Like, that's how it's like on average how long you are waiting to get on that ride. But with that wraps up all of my recommendations for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I love you guys. Bye.